Has anyone else noticed we're practically sitting on a loom gate?
That can wait, Dom. Aurea, you should be resting. If your wing doesn't heal, our point is out of commission.
That's what I need to address. While my wing recovers, Brynn will take over expeditions as our acting point.
You sure she's ready for all of this?
Brynn did face down an Ash Peak Drake and lived to tell the tale. I think we're in good hands.
Yes. I have every confidence that she will make a great point.
As long as we don't all die here first.
Okay, so these are the other types. These are dialogue choices. There are no wrong choices. It tells you that there are no wrong choices, but what it doesn't tell you is that sometimes your choices will spawn different dialogue with other people in your party. Sometimes your choices, like if you go apprehensive or nervous, your party's gonna comment on that. So yes, there are no wrong choices. It's just different choices are gonna have different paths you can take with conversing with your companions. I don't know if there's romance in this. I've never reached that far, if there is. But I do know that if you make certain choices, companions will comment on the choice you made. So we're going to go with reassurance. No, we're going to give the team a pep. I don't remember what I chose the first time, and I should just choose the same things I chose the first time. I think I chose reassurance. Because I don't want to say have faith in me. I don't know, that just feels weird. A pep talk also feels weird, so yeah, I'm gonna go with reassurance.
Our arrival was rocky, but I will do everything in my power to ensure our survival. If we avoid unnecessary risks, we'll be back on our feet in no time.
I'm glad you're taking this seriously.
Exactly. When we first set out to investigate the Veil's shadow, we had no idea we'd end up here. The Enclave was once a safe haven for all weavers, and the pinnacle of innovation. Since the Veil went up, weavers took the blame for decades of war. Stories that put children to bed preached the evils of our magic, all because of what happened here. We owe it to ourselves and to our brethren across the Maida to find out not just what happened, but why. Maybe then, weavers can find our place in the world again. But first, survival. Brynn, that's you and me. Find me when you're ready. Adjourned.
I didn't choose reassurance. So because I chose reassurance and caution, Casman likes that. Casman likes when you are cautious when you're thinking. So she will comment when you make those types of choices. So now, around our camp, when you see an exclamation point, that means you have talk, and that's what it's called. It's called talk. It means your party has stuff to say to you. So we can observe.
I wonder how this arc managed to get us through the Veil.
By the looks of it, it was a one-way ticket.
Well, the Enclave built many arcs and other magical constructs. I've never heard of one designed to repel Drake's breath, though.
You think we might find another arc that could help us escape?
Or possibly repair this one? It must be special somehow. As Aurea said, the arcs never left the Enclave, yet this one did.
We know as much as we can from looking at it. Time to start exploring if we want to find answers.
And I believe I have dialogue up to the max. Yes, so the codex is basically your logbook. I won't be reading every codex entry because they are paragraphs upon paragraphs long, because this is a large open world really open. It's not open world. It's a large universe, fantasy world is what I meant, not open world. Fantasy world adventure. I can't read all of this. There's so much. Lane can also give us codex entries. So as you can see here, this is why I can't read all this. That's a lot. And nations. As you can see, there's 8 nations that I can't. It's so much. Because it's not only that, I didn't specify. There's other pages as well. These are just the pages I've unlocked so far. These are the races, magic, the mantle and the scry. These are the people in my party. If you can, read through this. I'm not gonna read through it again, just because it's a little tiring, and also I prefer learning about them through interacting with them. But I love that Sebastian did a one-pager. Everyone else has multiple pages, and Sebastian did a one-pager like a freaking champ. Just making sure there's any other information in there. Yeah, then there's other things in that. These are the great foes. Odd that this one's here, and this one's here. We haven't discovered them in this playthrough. Does it carry them over? Hopefully it doesn't. Okay. This is our map. This is our inventory. When you come back to camp, everything that you had on you that isn't a key item gets stored in your trunk. So don't worry about that. Option. I just want to make sure the audio for dialogue is at the max. It is. Because... and this happens a lot in games. Some of the characters who are meant to be shy, their voices are so whispery. And, kind of sucks, because half your team is shy and nervous and apprehensive. The other half of your team, because there's 7 of you, are very open and courageous and, you know, things like that. Oh, we didn't look at the scry.
The scry. The whole band gathers around when I'm away from camp. It's nice to have people literally watching my back.
So occasionally, and I'll just tell you who the shy ones are. Lane, Casman, and Sebastian, their voice might be very low and whispery. Just know it's whispery to me as well, if you can't pick it up on the audio. And I can't up it through game. So if it is upped, that's that's edited, upped. So don't feel too bad. So we're going to talk to Lane first. They are our archivist.
Lane, you seem lost in thought. Settling in all right?
Hmm? Oh, Brynn. Yes, I am. And you? I notice you've been keeping to yourself. I'm the first person you've spoken to since we arrived at camp.
You did? Are you spying on me?
Oh, of course not. It's my vocation to observe. Not just you, everyone. In fact, if you'd like, I can tell you a little about the others. You are newer to our band, after all.
I'm actually very curious, because I talked to Lane first the first time as well. If I talk to someone else at camp, would Lane comment that I'm not the first person to talk to? Let's ask about Sev.
Sev is relatively new to the team too. Has Sola taken on smithing apprentices before him?
No, she's never had an apprentice before. I don't know how he came to be her apprentice either. No one seems to.
That's a little odd, isn't it?
Not really. Typically, Ram are very secretive, culturally speaking. Sev may remain an enigma. I wish he would open up, though. I'd like to learn more about his people.
So Sev is the big, animal man? I don't know what he is. He has tusks. He has horns. He has fur. Kind of like a bear, but with tusks, horns, and a fur. And so he's a ram. I don't know how she pronounced it. They pronounced it. I think he's the only one we get to ask about. Sev. You can ask about magical research.
Before joining, I knew Auria's band was renowned for its top-notch techniques in weaving. Why do you think that is?
To keep a points expedition gear competitive, you need a smith and an enchanter working in perfect harmony. And there's never been a pairing more harmonious than the union of our enchanter, Dam, and our smith, Sola.
They are sweet together.
Did you know Sola is descended from nobility in the Sansa Empire? Shame her family lost their fortune, though I suppose that's why she's so down to earth.
Are both Dam and Sola from Sansa?
No. In fact, Darm hails from Renland, where magic is completely forbidden. I often wonder if Darm's fascination with enchanting would be as obsessive if magic wasn't dogmatically kept from him as a child.
Okay, so that is our... If you've played D&D, the tiefling, and then she's not a dwarf, but the woman whose hand he kissed, they're a couple, and their synergy allows them to make magic better because they're in love and they're together. I'm guessing this one's about Casman because it's about how our crew is so tight together. If I remember, this is Casman.
I've traveled with the Weaver Band before, but it wasn't quite as functional as this. What makes this one run so smoothly?
The obvious answer is Oria. Not only is she a strong point and leader herself, but her mother is one of the most famous enchantresses of our time. She's grown up surrounded by excellence.
Wow. Still, it sounds like a lot to live up to.
If it is, Oria makes it look easy.
You said Oria is the obvious answer to this band's success. Is there a not-so-obvious answer?
Ah, yes. While Oria runs the field, when it's time for the caravan to move, it's Casmin who takes over. She used to be a quartermaster on the docks of Don Brennick, facilitating relief efforts for the Udean Federation. With the speed she can pack a caravan, it's no wonder that Oria trusts her to take over when it's time to move.
Yeah. And Lane is Udean? I'm gonna apologize now. Lane is non-binary. I think I referred to them as she a second ago. But Lane is non-binary. I will say they, them, because that is what Lane prefers. So just pointing that out, because I think I did accidentally say she. So now we're going to ask about Lane themselves.
Given that I'm the newest member, how do you think I fit in?
It speaks volumes that Oria trusts you with taking over the expeditions this soon. I would have thought Casmin might take over in this interim period instead of you.
Casmin?
Up until about 6 months before you joined, Oria was training her to become her replacement as point. It was going well, then out of nowhere the training ended, and Oria began searching for a new point. I don't know if it was Oria's decision or Casmin's, but either way, I suppose it's all for the best. You wouldn't be here otherwise.
Casmin hasn't been the most welcoming towards me. I wonder if she could be upset that I'm the new point.
Knowing Casmin, if she has a problem with you, it won't be long before she confronts you about it.
Ah, great.
No, because that one was the one about Casman. That actually opens up new dialogue with Casman. So when you have conversations with the characters, they will, one, they have the ability to talk to each other and you can overhear it. And two, it opens up new dialogue you can talk to with other people. So this is the one that asks about Lane. So if you don't want to ask about your party members, you can just ask Lane.
Lane, offering insight about the others is nice, but I came here to talk about you.
Oh, me?
Yeah. Tell me about yourself.
There's not much to know, really. I suppose I'm the typical third child to a second son of a patriarch of a minor mercantile house in Judea.
What?
I've enjoyed the experience of growing up in a family embroiled in feuds so long-standing that no living relative can recall inciting incidents firsthand. At a young age, scholastic endeavors became my escape from the familial turmoil until I could finally leave home, and so on and so forth. Nothing but a classical presentation of third child issues in a Judean mercantile family.
Right. And how are you feeling since we entered the Enclave?
Truthfully, I'm not sure. Nothing's really wrong, but never mind.
You sure? Whatever's on your mind, I'm happy to listen.
Yesterday, entering the Enclave in our lifetime seemed impossible, yet today, here we are. It strikes me as an opportunity that was profoundly easy to miss. That's all. Anyway, thanks for listening.
So Lane is our codex person. They will be, and I'll get into this when we get to it. They will be breaking down the information we learn out in the field. If you look up there, there's a shiny little object. around the world, the map, you're going to find things like this. This is a small journal. Detailed reminders of diplomatic protocols. And you find enough at a location. So Way Station has 4. When you find all 4, you can then go to Lane, and they will give you information on the location. Not all of...
I am itching to get out there, but Aurea wants to talk to me first.
Not all of them have 4. Some of them will have more than 4. And some of them will have ones that don't, like how this is. I'm in the wrong thing. This is Way Station, and it has 1 of 4. At locations, you will get some that are not only for the location, they'll be for other lore. So just be aware, if you're a completionist, it might not be at the location you're at. I'm going to show you where all 4 of these are at. It might not be at the location you're at. It might be at a totally different location. So the next one is over here. It's Arcane Tools. Likely used in the maintenance and calibration of the nearby Loom Gate. Trying to go around them so they don't start any conversations with me. The next one will be over here. And the map doesn't really show anything yet. It's a logbook. It's listing names and dates and innumerable. I don't know if I could fall off that, but I have a fear of heights, so I'm going to avoid that. And the 4th final one is on your way out. Well, not on your way out. This is the way we came in. It's a shattered mirror. Can't see because of that. The frame styled in Rinland fashion from decades ago. Once you've completed one, you then go back to Lane, and they will give you a file. So, Codex compiling, South Walls Way Station. I've already read it. I actually read this one aloud, so if I remember during the editing process, I'll splice it here. But I'm not gonna. This is why I'm not gonna read all these. They're super long, and there's so much to the game. I can't read every single entry on camera. I might read them all off camera, and then just put them as links below if you don't want to read them yourself. But I can't. It's so much reading. You're just gonna have to trust me on that. So let's talk to Dom. If you go up here, Dom and Sola's beds are up here. This was before I realized they were a couple. I was like, who's sleeping next to each other? And then I realized, oh, he's married to her. So let's talk to Dom. This is Dom's atelier. He's our magic boy.
Loom gates must need a massive source of magic to function. Instantaneous transit across hundreds of leagues.
Dom? Hello? Everything okay?
Brynn, you are going to check out the loom gate at some point, right?
Yeah, of course. I'll get around to it.
Good, good. Why it refuses to function is a mystery we must unravel together. A priority.
Not worried about our survival in an unknown land filled with volatile magic like the others?
Details. There is so much to discover, survival will take care of itself. Or Casbin will insist it does, at least. So, our acting point. Is your heart racing at the prospect of traversing these lost lands?
Yep, and now we have a choice. And again, the choices don't matter. According to the thing, they don't really matter. But your characters do respond to how you act. So, as you can tell, he loves magic. So choosing something about enthusiasm and magic is going to obviously get a better response. And I think I chose the top answer before. Or I chose this one. One of these two enthusiastic ones. Nervous, I don't know what he'll say. He'll probably be a little sad. But I think I chose the top answer, so I'm just going to choose that answer. Because I'm also trying to... I'm not choosing the answer I would choose. I'm trying to choose the answer Brynn would choose.
Growing up in Carnhaven, my father told me stories about the Enclave as I fell asleep. It's crazy to think I'm living through what once was just a bedtime story.
Perhaps you'll even become one. We are the first band to cross the Veil in half a century.
I hope history gives our story a more flattering beginning. Not sure I want our tale to start with us tripping over each other as we run from tangles.
With the most daring point to ever live, Brynn of Carnhaven, no one will remember our wobbly entrance.
Thanks, Dom.
Of course. Now, if you'll excuse me, something else is tugging at my attention.
Loom gates.
Loom gates.
So the joke I made before was that the thing that was tugging at his attention was his wife, because he is very romantic and very much in love with her. Also, he reminds me so much. Oh, okay. You could just basically stand on top of anything you want. He reminds me of so much of my tiefling character from D&D. They don't have tails, or at least none visible. My tiefling bard. The only differences are the hair color, skin color, and the, mine doesn't wear glasses. But his mannerisms and the way he acts just remind me so much of my tiefling. So I like all of them. But, my favorites are Lane and Casman. I don't exactly know why. So let's talk to Sola. Sola obviously is our blacksmith, so she has the forge. Can't craft anything just yet. I mean, we can, but what we can craft at the moment is what we already have. So, there's no real point. We can get our talk.
You've been busy.
It's a work in progress. Taking stock and all. We lost a lot of gear running for our lives. Speaking of, are you doing okay?
So last time I did get a sense of how she's feeling. But again, I think Brynn would say that she's eager to explore.
I'm fine. We all got through it safe. And in the process, we did the impossible. We breached the veil of the Enclave. Land of mystery and danger. I can't wait to get out there.
Treasures and glory, huh?
And bars singing our names.
Then I'd best make sure you stay safe enough to tell the tale. Oh, and listen. We've got your back, okay? All of us. Right now, we need to focus on getting our feet back under us. And you need to get the lay of the land while we do.
Okay. So if you tell her you're nervous, she'll just try to comfort you. She's very motherly, even though I don't think she has children. But yeah, she'll comfort you and not comfort you, like not hug you or anything like that. But she'll be like, don't worry, you'll be fine. Everything's going to be cool. This is Singeferno. Our bear man of some kind with tusks. Very intimidating.
Sev, how are you holding up?
Oh, fine. I mean, I'm trapped inside a magic bubble that's filled to the brim with life-threatening creatures. Also, left an entire known world behind, and I'll probably never see remnants of my past life again. But, you know, I'm fine.
Yeah, he's very pessimistic. I also keep calling him Singeferno. It's Sebastian, like Sebastian. Spiraling! Try to look on the bright side. Deflect it with humor or sympathize with him. So he's very pessimistic, very nervous. He's also very smart. But we're gonna sympathize. That's what I chose last time. I feel like Brynn would do that. Look at her eyes. I don't know. Saying that he's spiraling sounds funny and fun, but no.
It's okay if you're scared, Sev. I'm a little nervous myself.
Oh, good. Our point is worried. One person who's supposed to be fearless. Yeah.
Sev?
This apprenticeship is turning into more than I signed up for.
That is completely understandable. We're all reeling.
Yeah. You're probably right. Listen, I should get back to helping Sola.
I was talking with Sola earlier. She is a great listener. Maybe talk to her about how you're feeling too.
I wouldn't want to burden her.
She'd be happy to help.
I'll think about it.
So that was the wrong choice, even though there's no wrong choices. But I still like that he gets nervous when he finds out I'm also nervous. So I wanted to keep that in. So now if I wait a sec, they should talk. Or are they going to wait till I walk away? Or do I have to talk to everyone first? I do know that he does talk to her. Yeah, so there are no wrong choices, but obviously, as you saw there, he did comment on me being scared. Makes him more scared. And that's just what happens. This is Avra, and you can pet Avra. Or, I don't remember what it's called. I didn't know that its name was Avra, or her name, because it does say she. Her name is Avra. I called her Henry until I found out the name of her. Yeah, let's go to Casman. Casman allows you to change your equipment. You can't just change your equipment whenever you want. When you craft new equipment, you get the option then to change into it. Other than that, you have to come to Casman, who is in charge of the quarters, because she's our quartermaster, and that's how you change your gear. Because as you can see, you got stats. A lot of health, weapon power, armor power, heat and cold resistance, and weight. Oh, forgot, we gotta talk.
Hey, Casman. Recovering from our wild entrance into the Enclave?
Save it, okay? I know I should have been more prepared to move.
Hold on, that's not what I...
If I had been more prepared, we wouldn't be missing half our supplies. With more supplies, I could have done a better job patching up Oria's wing. If I had fixed her wing properly, we wouldn't be in unknown territory with a point who...
Whatever it is, just say it, Kaz.
You're no Oria. I'm sorry. But she has more experience, and who knows what's out there.
Okay. So don't tell her she needs to lighten up, but if you want to hear a joke, go ahead and do that. Don't tell her you're scared, because you'll get the same response you basically got from the other person. So I believe I reminded her that we're a team. It's what I remember. So I'm going to choose that.
I know my job is important, but we all have a part to play in our survival. I know you can do yours. Trust that with everyone's help, I'll be able to do mine too. I'm not in this alone, Kaz. Neither are you.
You're right. It's just that Oria has been point for so long. I need to give you a chance, though. I'll try.
That's all I ask.
Yep. Did you talk yet? Or are you too ready to talk yet? So before we talk to Oria, let's look at the gate.
So this is a loom gate. It's taller than I expected.
The Enclave constructed these for transit. Oh, imagine being able to travel leagues instantly. If only it were working.
There's no sign of damage. It just seems inert.
Deactivated, perhaps? Or simply lacking the energy such a powerful enchantment would need.
You'd know better than any of us. If we could get it working, though.
Oh, the possibilities. All the places we could go. Oh, to hold the hand of my most darling wife as we whisked around the Enclave. Metaphorically, of course. The loom gates famously moved people one at a time. Too dangerous otherwise, I imagine.
Okay. We can say they look sweet together, which is what I believe I chose. We can say this is getting a little lovey-dovey and give them their privacy. Or there's time for love later. No, because I chose that one before, and it's, if you want, I guess, the correct answer. There are no correct answers. That's a fine answer. I want to choose this one just because I want to see what they say.
Do you two need some privacy?
Solar, your genius is just, what was that, Brynn? Yes. Yes, I think we need to go theorize together.
Sure, if you say so.
Trust me, it's not a euphemism. Dom really loves theorizing.
I don't know. So much of what he says could easily be a euphemism. I just want to point that out. If you listen to the conversations they have, the things he says, and I get it, he's just very excited about what he does, his research, but he's also very excited about her and what she does to him. So his comment on, I forgot what it was. I've already forgotten. But it really made me think. He was talking about his wife. Zoria. Blazing a trail? No, let's talk first.
I was impressed by how you handled that drake outside the Vale.
A little terrifying, I will admit.
But you kept a cool head and didn't let it get the better of you. Not everyone can do that.
Okay, so all that's left is blazing a trail. And then after that, we should be able to get more talk, not dialogue. Because we should be able to discuss with Casman about Casman's past. So, blazing a trail, consult with Aurea to plan the next steps. As far as we know, we are the first weavers to pass through the Vale since it went up after the surge. Despite our anticipation, the band is still reeling from our chaotic entrance. Who knows what's waiting for us in the outskirts, or if we'll ever find a way to leave. Aurea is right, though. We need to get our bearings and treat this like the opportunity it is. We have what may be the only chance to find out what happened here after the surge. I'll need to consult with her before heading into the outskirts. Gotta pet the creature. I need to find out what it's called. Yep. Blazing a trail.
So after all the legends, this is it. The Enclave.
Legends for you, maybe. Some of us trained under weavers who were born here. Still, it is surreal to see it for myself now. You're going to be out there, exploring. Promise to take it all in for me.
Okay. She seems sad. This is my calling. Or wonder if she thinks I'm ready. I don't remember what I chose. I think I said this is my calling and told her I wouldn't fail. I kind of want to see what she says if I ask her basically if she's sad.
You must be devastated that your wing is holding you back.
I can't deny that my heart breaks at the prospect of being stuck behind the scry. But knowing I've found the right replacement helps. Besides, this wing won't keep me down for long. I'll be back out there soon enough.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Anyway, enough with the sentimentality. For your first expedition, we need to get the lay of the land. Thankfully, Lane Free has an old map of the Enclave to help us get our bearings. It's 60 years old, pre-surge. No chance it's accurate, but that's where you come in.
I'll update it as I go.
Exactly. We've made camp in what was once a way station for caravans entering the Enclave. Just below us is Glintwood Hollow, a valley on the outskirts of the Enclave. I've scanned it from the overlook, and we've got 2 landmarks of note. A second loom gate, and what appears to be a giant statue, possibly an ark.
You can see it from here? Must be massive.
If either is functional, Dom will throw you a party. I'll be with you on the scry. With fewer tangles, we're hoping the connection will be stronger. The path is down by your tent.
I'll head out now.
Okay. So that also should spawn a conversation. If you have any talk, you still have more talk. Also, if you notice, Aurea's right hand is the injured one, but I guess...
So when I'm finished scouting the landmarks you mentioned in the Hollow, should I come back to camp immediately?
That's entirely up to you. Points privilege. You're the one taking the risks, so you can gauge how far and how long you can push. From time to time, I or the folks around the camp might have requests, but we'll defer to your priorities. And if you get into trouble, I'll pull you to safety. Might lose some resources, but that's a small price to pay.
Got it. A lot of responsibility.
Points privilege.
Yeah, if you look during the little talking scenes, Oria's left hand, because it just swaps the character model, they didn't make a separate model, which is fine, but just figured I have to point that out for people who are very picky about that. You have more talk, Oria. So yeah, if you get knocked out, or die, so you don't die, if you get knocked out, you get teleported to the closest spawn location. And all you lose, you'll lose resources, but you get to pick what you keep. And there's a certain number you get to keep. Or a certain type you get to keep. So you get to keep a full stack of whatever type you pick. Let's get more talk.
Can I ask how you knew to pack up the camp outside the Vale?
The tangles were shifting. They'd been static the entire time. And then, suddenly, just as an arc deflects a wave of Drake's breath, they start to move. That's no coincidence.
How do you know to run to me, then?
The tangles closed down the path the caravan took in, and it wasn't like I was going to abandon you.
Okay, your talk is over. You don't have any talk. Get some pet. Oh, is it a situation of me leaving and coming back, and that's when they engage in conversation with each other? That might be it, because it probably needs to load to register my choices, and then they'll communicate with each other. So this is our tent. We're all the way over here, but only like 3 people have beds. I'm assuming Casman sleeps in there. Oria doesn't sleep at all, and Lane probably also doesn't sleep at all because they're a researcher. They're up studying all night.
Your tent. Might not be glamorous, but you can rest here when you're not gallivanting on expeditions.
It's perfect.
I don't know about perfect. I could have done a better job if we didn't lose half our supplies when we passed through the Vale.
Seriously, I didn't have anything close to this in Aaron's band. Half the time I was lucky if I didn't sleep on dirt.
Huh. That's unfortunate. I'll leave you to get settled.
And I'm possibly reading into this. I think Casman has a crush on me. Well, when we get more of our conversations, you'll see what I mean. I think Casman likes me. Make sure no one got any extra talk from that, and really it's just so I can pet Avra again. Let's go. Oh, I was hoping that would be the one that explains what type of creature Avra is. So the way expeditions work, well, they'll probably tell me once I get here. So this is Glintwood Hollow, tree laden and wild. So we need to look for a second loom gate in Feller's Arch, and we need to look for a great arc near the collapsed mine. So if we look at our map, we're here. As we explore, we'll get more of the map, and there are 5 items we need to get the lore of this location, but there are more than 5 items here. Now, obviously, as you explore, you can loot. Should loot.
Got you clear as a sands of summer, Brynn.
No interference from the Enclave?
None. The connection is much stronger than outside the Vale.
That's reassuring.
You should loot. I'm not going to loot everything because, again, that's going to be boring watching me destroy everything in my path because this location is huge. I'm going to focus on story. So if you're coming here hoping that I'm going to show you where everything is, I won't. I might do videos later that'll show you where everything is. But I'm going to be focusing on the quests. Oh, it does teach you how to walk on. It just doesn't teach you till now. And I'd already learned how, so it didn't matter. Let's get a view. Spectacular vista. While the surge clearly struck the Enclave hard, the maps remain generally unchanged. Those wolves, I forget what they're called, but primarily in this location, and enemies will change at every location every time you do a new expedition. I said I wasn't going to break all this. I need to focus. And stamina is low. If you're exhausted, just stop walking. There's the Archer Arcs.
And they're clearly happy we're here.
Arcs were supposed to be used for manual labor. Hostility is strange.
It ignores my shield. And so another frustration I really had with the game, I hate enemies that run from you. So anything that flies, anything that burrows, that is an enemy in a video game, I absolutely hate. These archers make me so upset when the original playthrough. And which, another reason why I'm redoing the playthrough is so I'm not raging the whole time, because it's a fun game. I enjoy the game. But there were just a lot of things that I would just get mad at, and I would carry that anger into other things. So if I'm trying to kill an enemy and it's running from me, we'll get to that in a bit.
Fresh water in walking distance of the campsite.
I'll set up a purifier for it and collect later.
And nothing upsets me more than when I'm... Well, there are probably things that upset me more. But when you're trying to kill an enemy...
Hyndra's Brook, aptly named for the spirit of water that flows.
When you're trying to kill an enemy and it runs away. Oh, these things. These little lizard guys. Oh, there's 2 of them here. They are so tanky. And I genuinely don't think I can... Oh, did I kill him? No, they killed themselves. They're so tanky and you can't target them because they turn invisible. Can't tell if it died because they turn invisible. I don't hear it hissing, so I think it died. And every now and then, yes, you will be hearing roars. There's so much in the environment. We'll also get to that. So we're looking for a greater arc and a loom gate at Feller's Arch. So Feller's Arch is to the north. We also have the point over here, if we want to go to that. negated my stab. And you can follow the path, or
Creatures could be hunted for food. Any of these plants look edible?
Dom will put anything in his mouth if he's curious enough. Whatever he doesn't vomit, we'll eat.
Just try not to poison him.
freaking Dom. I see what I'm telling you? There's so much in the game. It is so beautiful. Dom will put anything in his mouth. And that's not even his wife saying that, so obviously it's not meant to be sexual, but come on. Saying Dom will put anything in his mouth. I'm not gonna want to chase these guys down. You can grab them and pull them to you. Or throw them at each other, because man, do I hate running enemies. Oh! And yeah, you can kind of climb on anything, any surface.
Point. What a beautiful view.
Is it? I just see a tree. Okay. Let's go to our next location. And there is weight limits to what you can lift, because obviously you're going to be able to level up your spells. Okay, so colors matter in enemies. So purple is explosive. I didn't know this was over here, so I never came down here. Purple is explosive. Blue is ice. Red is fire. So just be aware of that. Chests respawn at each expedition, so you will find... When you come back, if you want good supplies, go to a chest. They will respawn. So I never got this formal complaint because I didn't know about what was underneath here. Disorder among us, the Norians, and reckless disregard of tradition. So is that one that counts? No. So that is not one that counts towards unlocking the map or learning about the map. If you do look up there at Feller's Arch, and also Hindra's Lake, they have hammers there. Those are what you need. So I didn't know it marked them on the map. I know it marks them on the map after you find them. I didn't know it marked them on the map before you found them. I just got launched into the air because I'm made of ice. I'm made of rubber. We'll climb up. I just don't want to deal with the wolves at the moment. So we're gonna climb up.
This must be the second loom gate.
What's covering the base?
I'll check it out. A lot of debris on the platform. I could clear it with kinetic magic.
What about the loom gate itself? Is it functional?
No sign of life, but see that cloud of raw magic? It's leaking from the broken pipe near the edge of the platform.
So we have two powerless loom gates and a tangle leaking out of an enclave construction. I wonder if Lane still has that treatise we picked up in Tarza.
And he's gone.
Okay, so that completes the first half. It also gives us a mission? Oh, it doesn't give us the mission. We can complete another mission early if we choose to move the debris now. I'm not gonna do it. I did it before, which is how I found out. So here we have a long discarded staff. This whole thing is a staff. So that's what's talking about. Scaled for an arc, still throoming with magic despite long years of sediment. That one did not count, not care. It did not count. Oh, and also if you're in the middle of a swing, you can't dodge, you can't block. So, I mean, a lot of games do that. That's another thing that would annoy me is if I'm swinging. Because some games do let you cancel. If you swing and you hit the block, it'll cancel your block for a swing. A posted warning. Care. T is bad here. Some X. A fluttering caution in shorthand. So that's one of the ones. Oh, you can't see it because I'm blocking it. Oh, that's not one of the ones that gives you a check mark. Where's the one that gives you the check mark? I don't know. You can obviously get in here. So if you need another chest. Oh, chests are randomized. So sometimes a chest is spawned. You want chest loot. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to complete our second task, which is the giant. Foes who die while on fire or frozen are considered tempered and have a high chance of dropping rarer materials. So use your spells to get kills if you want better loot.
A set of schematics. Tarmakine smithing? Maybe solar would
Picking this up starts a side quest, so be aware of that. It's right here on the map at Feather's Edge. Beneath the bridge. I forgot that and I already picked it up, so there we go.
This must be Hydra's Lake.
But lakes are still. Why name it after the spirit of flowing water?
They're done talking. Oh, you. Oh, use tail whip or tongue whip. Use lick. Why did I say tongue whip? Tongue whip is just lick. I absolutely hate fighting these things. But they can poison themselves, which is odd. I didn't know they were damaged by their own poison. They do take fall damage, though. So that's what I feel about. Okay. I move on with what I was doing. 2 swords. Lloyd would like that. Oh. Mycologist's tools. A worn satchel and rusted curved blade. Once a forger's set. Is that one of the ones? I'm trying to remember the ones that you use to get the check marks. But I really don't. Because we have none. Oh, no, I have 2. Mycologist tools and the Vista. Oh, is it because I haven't returned to Lane that they're not marked on the map? That might be it.
I was right. It is an ark. A great one.
It isn't moving. I'll get a closer look.
Yeah, we can climb this thing. Climb this big boy. Hear the roaring of the monsters in the distance.
An ark of the stricken earth, I would guess. Any chance you could bring a piece of it back to camp?
Doubt my sword is strong enough.
Then there's not much we can do with this for now. Dom seems to have an idea about the loom gate, at least. 2 Enclave constructs. Neither of them functional. Good news. Lane found a shortcut back to our camp for you, and we've got the wisp working.
The wisp?
Watch as Wisp. Channel a little magic into your earpiece. I'll redirect it to guide you from the scry to the shortcut.
So press that button and the wisp shows up. Okay, the issue I have with the wisp.
I see the path.
Good. That should take you to the shortcut.
It can travel through the ground. So if you're on a higher elevation and you activate it, it'll shoot through the ground, which isn't very helpful if you need to follow it. Okay, right here is a recipe. It's the Opportunist's Mask. So I'll show it on the map right here. It's craftable. Now we're heading on out. There's still more to explore here. Like Sodden Pass, I guess, is the only location left. There's more here. But I'm not going to really focus on getting all of that. I'm going to kill you because I need to grab an item from right here. Oh, they're called Akalas. Diplomatic agreement. A letter approving entrance to the Enclave for a group of Tazan workers. Is that one of the ones we needed? No. There's a whole nother half over there, but we're just gonna move on to the end.
That should be it. According to my map, it's a man-made tunnel that grants easy access to the way station.
All right. You said it. Ceremonial kindling. Material for starting a fire, specifically treated to ensure a fearsome blaze. This is another spawn for chests. As you saw, we got some level 3 there. So if you're gonna get anything into your inventory, make sure you're going for colored loot. Because generic loot, like I said, you can break rocks, you can kill creatures, you can cut down trees anytime you want. You want the rare stuff. Kind of goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways.
Brynn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the Loom Gate in our camp and in Glintwood Hollow.
Okay. So this is where I figured out that you can't, that your choices have different dialogue with other people. So because I said originally Loom Gates were risky, Dom had something to say about that later on, and asking my opinion, or ask why I made that choice. Or no, I think it's a different one. It's a different conversation that I learned that. This one, I think, caused someone else to have dialogue about why I made the choice I made. So, yes, there's no wrong answers, but you'll get different dialogue based on the choices you make. We'll make history, so I believe Lane would like that choice. It's risky. Ask the team if they're sure it's safe. That choice is obviously going to fit well with Casman or Sebastian. Loom Gates create limitless possibilities. Muse on what may lie beyond. That sounds like the choice that Brynn would choose, and also Dom would love that one. So I don't know if there's companion affinity. It tells you the choices you make don't matter, but certain characters like certain things. So because this is still semi-blind at the beginning, and then it's going to be completely blind once I get to Chapter 3, because it's still a blind playthrough, I'm just going to make choices and hope I make good enough choices. So I'm going to choose this one.
With the Loom Gates active, we could expand our search of the Enclave. Who knows what we might find?
The potential for discovery is endless.
Agreed. So, how do we repair a Loom Gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. the pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the loom gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arks have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the arc. There's no way my sword is strong enough.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which, in turn, means...
I could hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace, no problem.
We'll talk.
One more thing. You'll need to remove the debris on the loom gate's platform so that we've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Easy enough?
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Yep, and then we learned about the journal, and that ends Blazing a Tread. So we don't need to read this. We already know about the journal.